buddy, you look kind of like this alley guy. Are those even real glasses, Anthony?
Hey everyone, Salomtani Aleikum Tano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review of this new Ali mixtape, Exodia. Here we have the newest project from Toronto-based rapper, producer, and songwriter Ali. This marks his first major drop in nearly 2 years following his last effort, Godspeed, a project that, while ambitious and clearly personal, felt like it was still searching for a consistent identity. It was a big step forward from Running Man, his debut, but the murky mixing and scattered energy kept it from resonating the way it probably should have. It was the kind of tape where you could see the vision, even if you couldn't quite hear it just yet. Now, with Exodia, Ali returns, sounding more focused, more mature, and most importantly, more himself. The tape opens with Astro Boy, and right away, it's an attention grabber. The intro feels ethereal. These delicate, almost lullaby-like vocals floating over an orchestral haze, much like his previous project that all opened with a more somber intro, until the song flips completely. Suddenly you're hit with this explosive wall of drums and pitched-up samples that sound like Kanye's Graduation colliding with late 2000s headbang-worthy rock. It's chaotic but cinematic, the kind of opener that grabs your attention that I wasn't expecting from Ali, to be honest. The intro sweeps you off your feet, and the next track that follows right after Genesis serves to ground you. It's a skit that functions as both narrative setup and world building, a distorted, omniscient narrator, kind of like one of those previously on voices from a 90s Saturday morning cartoon, explains that Exodia is searching for Ali in order to merge with him, creating a fully realized, ultimate version of himself. It's a cheeky and self-aware plot, and the writing is peppered with local references to Toronto all throughout, something that felt like Ali intentionally avoided on Godspeed, where things were vague to the point of detachment. Ali's writing here feels sharper and more self-aware than ever before, like he finally knows what his voice sounds like. This time, he's comfortable being specific. Tracks like Futurama, Look Alive, Don't Be Rude, Lights Out, Talk to You, and Suburbia all showcase a level of personality that feels newly confident. The writing is sharper, funnier, and way more self-assured. Talk to You specifically lets the cat out of the bag as he describes his headspace in a romantic relationship that really removes any type of braggadocio and machismo from the lines for painfully specific storytelling that wraps the listener into the passenger seat. There's this back and forth perspective happening across the tape. Half the songs sound like they're from Ali's point of view, while the other half seems to be Exodia's, an almost prophetic version of himself. His flows are tighter, the wordplay is snappier, and his tone bounces between introspection and goofy lines, to the point where they really do get campy. And thematically, there's this push and pull between Ali the man, flawed, indecisive, grinding through reality, and Exodia, this avatar of what his dreams looks like. Some tracks feel like an internal conversation between the two, where Ali questions everything it takes to get to be at Exodia's level. Production-wise, the thing is lush. There's a cinematic quality that runs through the entire project. The beats are cohesive without sounding repetitive, and there's a strong emphasis on contrast. You can tell Ali spent time refining the sound palette into what it is. It's futuristic but soulful, electronic but still grounded in rap. There's a real sense of scale here that wasn't fully realized on Godspeed. The way he layers synths with boom-bap drums on Futurama, and how he has a drum break with a violin in the futuristic-sounding Don't Be Rude, creates a sonic identity for the project that unifies it all together. That said, there are moments where the mix still gets a bit crowded. Certain tracks feel slightly overstuffed, like he's throwing every idea at the wall just to see what sticks. Some of the layering in the vocals feels muddy, and you can't really tell what he's saying, as if he's masking what his real singing voice sounds like. Ali's delivery alternates between laid-back self-reflection and a full-throttle confidence that would come with him fully sticking to becoming this artist that he sees himself becoming. When he's talking his shit, it's electric. When he's vulnerable, it's believable. There's still some roughness in the writing, a few corny bars here and there, but overall, the pen game feels tighter and more personal than Ali's ever demonstrated before. At its best, Exodia is a statement of artistic rebirth. Ali is stepping out of his own shadow and finally sounding like he's in control of his powers. It's ambitious, occasionally messy, but undeniably alive. If Running Man was the blueprint and Godspeed was the prototype, Exodia feels like the third evolution of that, the one where the potential and the execution finally meet. I'm giving Exodia a strong X out of Exodia. Transition.